Hmm. Okay. 1 second. Why do I not see anything? There we go. Ah, okay, here we go. All right, so starting off, I wanted to uh, listen to and watch this particular clip from the Joe Rogan podcast. It's about why Krav Maga fighters don't dominate UFC. Now, for those of you who don't know, um, I am also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I have a heavy background in Judo. And I dabble in a little bit of wrestling and Mongolian wrestling due to my friends that I train with. But um, let's see what this is about. I'm always interested in martial arts conversations, and I'm also interested in conversations why conversations that include specific styles or systems like Krav Maga and why or why not they're effective in under specific settings like UFC or street fighting or whatever. But anyways, let's see what this says, or let's see what they have to say about it. Let me just double check one thing.
Krav Maga is legit. It gets criticized a lot.
Does
for
it?
Whatever. Yeah, by martial artists.
Why?
Well, because it's a combinatory martial art, so it combines a bunch of different things together. So it's essentially like a jack of all trades.
What's
thing.
wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
I'm gonna stop it here and there, probably at random times to get my point in. But yes, I agree with him. I I would add that people don't like Krav Maga, or they don't look at it as highly as other martial arts because there's techniques that um, you fully can't execute in training. And I'm just going off of what I've heard. I'm not sure if this is actually true, but if it's not, then let me know. Like there's eye gouges and groin shots and stuff that are part of Krav Maga that honestly you really can't train it out 100%. Like if you eye gouge somebody, the risk that permanent damage to their eyes is is a result is actually pretty high, and that's not really something you can train over and over again. Same thing with crotch strikes. But anyways, let's continue.
oh, okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's like it's like only being into purebred dogs. Like what's up with that?
Well, no, it's like, is it
That's a weird comparison.
effective, right? Like there's no Krav Maga artists that have gone on to dominate in the UFC.
I'll take his word for it. That sounds right, though. I mean, yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But you could kind of say that mixed martial arts, in a sense, is essentially the roots of Krav Maga, because it's taking the best aspects of various martial arts and training them.
Yeah, how is it different?
Well,
I mean, is it the roots of Krav Maga? I don't know if it. I mean, Joe would more know than me. Would know more than me, but I'll have to look into that. Like, I'm not sure if I would buy that at face value. But anyways, let's continue.
the thing is that if you are training for self-defense, okay, you're training to defend yourself against an attacker. The true, in my personal opinion, the true best way to learn how to fight is to learn how to prepare yourself for trained killers.
That is correct. You want to be able to train for somebody who would be the best in whatever you're training for. Like if you're training for a competition, you train to face off against the best in your field or whatever. If you're training for if you're training for self-defense, yes, the target demographic you want to train for is someone who's a trained killer. If you can fend off them, or even the lower tier of them, everybody else who's untrained should be easy.
Not the average person.
Really?
Yes.
Like, how often are you going to encounter trained killers?
It doesn't matter. You should be prepared for trained killers because you could run into a trained killer, and if you try to do some Krav Maga nonsense on me, I'm going to fucking strangle you. You can't defend yourself against.
Well, that comment right there kind of confuses me. Does Joe... I guess I'm not sure if Joe is an advocate for Krav Maga, or if he likes it, or if he doesn't. But anyways, let's continue.
Someone who actually knows how to fight.
Okay, here's a question. Can I ever actually defend myself against someone like you?
No. Not against
So
someone
then
like
what's
me.
the fucking point?
Because you could defend yourself against someone who doesn't know how to fight as good as me, but the odds of someone like me attacking you are very, very,
But
very, very,
you're
very
saying
small.
I should train.
Well, yes, like you should train for, you should train for being able to defend yourself against the top tier person. Even if you never are going to be able to, because of how you're training, everybody lesser than is going to be significantly easier. And I've experienced that myself in my personal life. But, training jiu-jitsu and grappling in general underneath an Olympic level athlete, when you're just, the average guy, is very eye-opening, and it causes everyone else to be not as harsh as they would be if you didn't have that particular type of training. Let's continue.
Train to be able to,
Yes.
to fight against trained killers, but
Yes, defend yourself. Jiu-jitsu, you can. Jiu-jitsu, you could defend yourself. You're not going to... The way you would be able to beat me is if I was untrained. I have too many advantages, but also...
Maybe. Joe, even though he's a little older, is still a guy in pretty good shape. No offense to this young lady. I don't know who she is, but yeah, just physically, like I don't see her beating Joe, trained or untrained.
So I don't have advantages if someone's bigger than me and just as well trained as me,
right.
or more well trained than I am, better than me. I'm not going to beat, the UFC heavyweight champion. Like I'm not going to win. It's not possible. I don't care how long I do martial arts.
But you can avoid dying by
Right.
them.
No.
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 Okay, they'll just murder
No,
you.
I can't.
Well, I mean, maybe. Let's continue.
No.
Great.
No, I'm completely vulnerable.
Okay, great. All
As
right.
an expert martial artist with 3 black belts, I'm completely vulnerable. Yeah, that's reality. That's physics.
It's like you against an elephant who's going to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the 100 men versus a gorilla.
Yeah.
There could be a
Obviously,
fucking-
the gorilla would win.
Not
Whoever
just-
thought the gorilla would lose?
Retards. Men.
Who have never
dopey
seen a
men,
gorilla?
Men who think they could fight better than they can, which is most men.
Why? Whoever brought up that as even a thought experiment?
I don't know,
Like,
but it's
who's-
funny that it's like viral in 2025. I thought we'd have worked that out in the 50s. The fact that
I feel like people just don't remember what animals are like. We're so out of touch with animals.
they don't even know what an animal is.
I would agree with that. I've heard full-grown men say that they could probably fight off a bear, but then you ask them what type of bear, and they couldn't tell you. Oh, a brown one. It's like, a brown bear? Are you sure? Are you sure? I really don't think they know what that is.
They have no idea. People know what their dog is. They have no idea what an animal is, an actual real animal.
And
Well, even then, I don't even think people understand the amount of damage a dog is capable of. Like, my medium-sized pit bull could pretty much tear most people I know apart. And it's not because she's like the most vicious dog on the face of the planet. It's just that most of the people I know don't work out, don't train, and they're, quite frankly, just really physically weak. But anyways.
Also, your own dog could fuck you up if if it wanted to.
Yeah,
it
if
just
it wanted
doesn't want to.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, unless you have a little dog. I'll
Right.
fuck up a chihuahua.
Yeah,
But
okay, fair.
My dog Marshall, he's a golden retriever. He's the sweetest dog on the planet. But he could probably kill me if he want. He just doesn't know. you know?
Right. And he would never think to.
Right.
But like,
if like a rat was trying to attack you, you'd be fucking terrified.
or if he got infected by rabies,
Right.
you know, like and lost his mind, like,
Right.
ciao.
It'd be
Yeah, I think they're basically saying the same thing I just did, or a minute ago. A medium-sized dog is still fully capable of tearing the average person apart.
a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's the reality, but if you're training to defeat a trained killer, you're going to be way better off than if you're training to defeat someone who's going to lunge at you this way and you're going to block that and hit him here and hit him there and like.
Well, that's what makes Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a bit more effective than the general martial art. Like, every class you are actively sparring against somebody, and the best roles, the best gauge of how you would do in a self-defense scenario is to roll against somebody who has not trained any kind of grappling or jiu-jitsu itself. That is a very close indicator of how you would do potentially in an attack. I mean, granted, most of these people aren't actively punching or kicking you, but believe me, when someone starts out and they don't know what they're doing, accidental punches and knees and elbows and whatnot occur all the time. Let's continue. Looks like there's only about 2 minutes
But
left.
don't you fight
That's not
differently against a trained killer versus
No.
like some dude who's like drunk and
No,
in a
the
bar?
right way to fight is the right way to fight, period. Whether it's some drunk dude, if some drunk dude tries to take a swing at me, I'm not going to think, oh, he's a drunk dude, I shouldn't avoid this punch, I should do something different. No, it's like, it's all the language.
And I would agree there. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a drunk person, somebody who's just had a bad day, somebody who's just looking for trouble. I'm going to fight you the same way, the most effective way that I know, because I'm going to try to end whatever this altercation is as quickly as possible, and potentially end it without hurting you, and and then being able to get away and call the police. Like, I don't know what she means by fight differently. Does she mean, switch styles? Like, am I going to do grappling against guy A and then guy B comes at me? I'm going to do striking. Maybe. It depends on the situation. I'm not going to try to out grapple someone bigger and younger than me. And if I have to do it, I'm going to try to subdue them as quickly as possible. And at the same time, if I get the indication that someone's a boxer or does Muay Thai, I'm not going to sit there and throw hands with them. Let's continue.
So martial arts is essentially like a language, and some people only know a couple of words, and some people can eloquently recite Shakespeare
Sure.
at the drop of a hat.
Sure.
And that's the difference between an expert and someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. And most people don't know what they're doing when it comes to martial arts.
Most people don't know what they're doing when it comes to fighting, period. Like, I know so many, well, not so many. I know a few guys in my neighborhood who claim to know how to fight, and then when I watch them play around, you can tell. Like, if you've done some sort of combat sport or martial art for a long while, you can pick up on if somebody knows something, and these guys don't know anything, and they're so convinced that they do know how to fight. It gets into a little bit of a dangerous realm.
Preparing for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to prepare for someone who knows what they're doing. Now, this is very different when we're talking about like women's self-defense versus just, like a grown man who is of normal size defending himself against another grown man.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be different. Two grown men going at it is going to be a completely different dynamic than a grown man and a grown woman. At least I think that's what they were saying.
Normal size.
A fair fight.
Yeah, a fair fight. But in a fair fight, you should be preparing to fight against a trained killer. If you are a person who just only trains in self-defense tactics, like someone comes at me, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, good luck doing that to someone who knows how to fight. good luck, because they're going to recognize all of your movements in advance. You're going to go like this, and they're going to go, oh, well, his right arm is coming this way, so I'm
Right.
just going to step this way, and I'm going to avoid that. And I see his left foot step backwards. Well, now his right leg is vulnerable, so I'm going to kick it. Like it's language. It's understanding the flow of body dynamics and movement.
And it's happening so quickly that the only way that you can actually be effective is if you're fluent and you don't have to think about it.
You don't think about it.
Right.
It's when you're training, it's like you very rarely think, oh, now I'm going to do this. It's like opportunities open themselves up, especially in striking. Striking is something that you do where you're doing these techniques so often that as things happen, you're just responding in a trained way. Your mind and your neural system is like completely trained for these actions and these movements.
Yeah, I totally agree with Joe. There's that one little bit earlier in the video that I kind of wanted to add to. Oops.
Sure.
But I couldn't quite tell if she wasn't the young lady on his guest. I couldn't quite tell if she just didn't quite understand what his point was, or she just didn't understand the subject matter in general. It could have been the case that she somewhat understood and was asking clarifying questions, which is okay. But I just couldn't tell. And Joe has made a lot of really good points. Especially when she asked, well, can I defend myself against somebody like you? And he said no. Like, I hope that she understood that, why he said that. And even with his explanation, I hope she understood. I also hope that other people who heard that understand why that is. Anyways, I will be right back. I have to go do something. And yeah, stand by.